I'm Michael David. I'm here tonight to find out how I'm going to manage my money and how I'm going to save to buy my first house. Can you tell me, please?
All right, so welcome. How are you? My name is Karan. I am a student at the University of North Texas, and I'm here to talk about money management, a guide to investing. So let's go ahead and get started. The other one, budgets, how to kind of create a budget, how to get that going. How do you save money? That's a good question for a lot of people. So let's kind of get that an idea. So you kind of have that feeling. I know I have in the past had that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how to stop that process. The next one is retirement investing. So I'm sure even though not everybody here is ready to retire, they still want to work, keep working, make the money. But one day you're going to need to call it a day. So firstly, you need to know where your money is. So you might have money, cash money. Sometimes you may have paychecks going directly to your bank. You might have money, so you kind of need to know it, kind of get it together. So kind of get an idea, put it together, see where all your money is going to be, and get an idea of what's going to be on there. So then you set up a budget. How do you do that? So it's pretty simple. So this depends on the money you're making every month. For example, you're making $1,000 a month. Your fixed expenses are about $800. You kind of got $200 to play around with. So what do normal people you think would do with that extra $200? Any ideas? What do you guys usually would do an extra $200?
Save it.
Okay, how about anybody else? Spend it. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That's what majority of people do is spend it. So that's one thing. In order to spend it, you want to kind of limit borrowing on credit. So you want to start. So that's where your $200 extra a month would come in to help out. So if you are spending that $200, why don't you stop putting it on a credit card and rather spend it from the $200 you have left over? And the other thing is, since you already built up that debt, you did the shopping, you went out and ate the fancy dinners and whatnot, start paying it off. So if you do have that flexibility of that $200, why don't you put a little bit more towards your monthly payments, get that debt down. How many people have done this? You buy things and you don't need them. Right? Isn't that? You just walk into the store thinking you just need one thing, but you end up walking out with like 10. So yeah, do not buy things that you don't need. So let's go ahead and watch a quick more video here. It's going to show you needs and wants. Let's talk about that.
So 3 tips for you, and every single one of you out there. Number 1, you are to live below your means, but within your means. Do you hear me, everybody? I don't care if you can afford a 3,000 square foot home, buy a 2,500 square foot home. Next, can you just get as much pleasure out of saving as you do spending? Can you just think about that? But the greatest tip I can ever give you is ask yourself this question. Is it a want or is it a need? Before you buy anything, ask that question. If it's a want, walk away. If it's a need, buy it.
So how many people do you agree with this statement? Do you think Susie here is a financial planner? So do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, okay, that's great. So this is what she talks about. So you do not want to spend more than you really make. So this way what you do is you're going to start tracking your money. So okay, you have a flex, a set amount that you pay a month. So now what you're going to do, the balance, and whatever you've already spent for the month, you've got it, you're going to track it. So you're going to start writing, hey, I paid this kind of bill, I paid money for this, and here I have a little extra, so what am I going to do? So you kind of give yourself a little credit for what is left. How many people walk into, especially for a car, let's put it that way. You walk into a dealership, how many people would you think are going to pay what's written on that tag, on that car? You say none. How about anybody else? You think a lot of people pay the sticker price?
Maybe 80%.
Maybe 80%. That's a pretty fair statement, I would say. So what do you think? Is it too hard? Like you walk into the dealership, for example, you go in there. Do you think if you tell the car salesman, hey, I'm looking for this kind of car, so they have that car, you see, you like the car, whatnot, so now it comes time to talk about the money. So what are you gonna do? Hey, I got a $20,000 car, that's the list price for the car. Is that what's on the car is described for you? So are you okay with him telling you, hey, you know what, customer, I have a car for you, exactly what you want. This is what it costs. The manufacturer suggests we should sell it for $20,000. Then we got to obviously add for taxes and other fees that we have to get in your hands. So do you think that's a fair statement to say, okay, hey, I'm going to pay about $24,000 for a car, which if you go out and ask other people who are kind of in your shoes, they might have paid less. So it never hurts. The moral of that story, it never hurts to ask, hey, what's the best deal you can give me? All right, so moving on. So what is the difference between needs and wants? As the video showed to you, and as you were saying, Jay, that you would walk into a Target or any kind of store, you would go in there and have the expectation. Some people have lists, you know, hey, if you go in grocery shopping and get some, you buy clothes or whatnot. You would go in there with the expectation of buying those 4 or 5 things. How many things do you think you would walk out with sometimes?
20.
20, okay, that's a high number, but you know, that is not something.
I might have an addiction,
Okay.
but that's okay.
It's not about addiction. Here you go, this is what it is. So you need to differentiate between your needs and your wants. One of the last things, get help. How many of you think that you need more help, need some ideas, you need, you know, hey, I need some help. I'm not quite sure on these topics. Think about it. There are a lot of resources. I'll talk about those here in a little bit. How about discounts? Who doesn't like discounts? Right? There are multiple places where you can get discounts. Don't ever shy away from the fact that you can get it. Don't think that there's not a way to get it. Hey, that never hurts to ask for it. So discounts are always a good thing. So build your credit. Once you start paying off your debt and kind of follow some of these ideas, this is when you start building the credit. How do you think is a good way to build credit? Is it by more going to the store and shopping more? Is that something you would say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay stuff on time.
Pay stuff on time. Exactly. That's one good thing too. Anything you'd like to add, Michael?
Yeah, me, I'm crazy, you know, when I get mad, I go shop all the time.
But see, that's what normal people will do. So the easiest way to build credit, as Abigail said, pay on time. You know, if you paid a credit card late, that throws off usually an average 30 points off your credit score. So that's something easily you can make sure if you are charging. Obviously, it's never good to have a large credit balance, but as long as you're paying it on time and sticking to their guidelines. And one other big thing is, for example, you got a $10,000 credit limit. What do you think is a good amount that you can go ahead and spend? Would you spend the entire $10,000, or what's a good number for you guys?
20%.
20%. That's a fair number. Any 30%? Okay. So usually banks, if you go to a bank, they'll recommend you do not use more than 60% of that. Even though it is $10,000, so in that kind of math, if you do the math, don't spend more than $6,000. If you do need to spend it, obviously go back to the basics, needs and wants. All right, so next time we're going to talk briefly about is investment. So what is investment? So this one here, the description here reads any vehicle into which funds can be placed with the expectation that it will be generating positive income and its value will be preserved or increased. So it's basically you're going to invest money into something. Usually it's a commodity. If it's like, for a car, go back to the example of cars. Do you think cars is a good investment? No, okay. No.
No.
But that is a kind of an investment. So return, so let's talk about some return. What do you think you'll get back? So what's the reward for owning that investment? One of the ways is, how do you make a value go of that investment? So for example, I know we were talking earlier about gold. Gold is a commodity. That is something that can increase in value. So obviously today, gold is not doing that great because the stock market, the economy is doing pretty good. So people tend to buy less of gold. They'll still focus on the investments that can give them quick returns. And savings are retirements. So do you think it's impossible to start saving and get your long-term goals together?
No.
No, right? So obviously it's never impossible to save money, no matter how small the amount. So one of the great ways I personally, so I work at State Farm, and I do have a 401k side. So 401k is basically an investment tool that the company usually use for you. So there's different variations of what is inside the 401k. They can be stocks, like commodities, different things, and bonds. That's one of the big things to do. So usually companies will allow you to fluctuate the amount of stocks you want in there and the amount of bonds you want in there. Stocks are the higher risk investment. Bonds are usually more secure because they've been backed. Stocks really, tomorrow the economy crashes, you know what? Sorry, you're broke. Bonds, you have that flexibility and that stability to get some return off of it. 401k, that's my employer, matches what I put in there. So I usually put in about $900 a year. And State Farm matches that. So guess what? What did I get? $900, free money. Who doesn't like free money? Right? All right. So I know you stated, Shay, you're a student here at the University of North Texas as well.
Yes.
Pell Grant, have you heard of this before?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously take advantage of it. It's another way to get free money. The government gives that to you in order for you to pay for your costs. Like that includes your tuition, books, and whatnot as well. Taxes. Who likes to pay taxes? I know I don't. There's ways to save money by not paying some taxes. I'm not saying to cheat the government now. It's all about getting, it's called deductions is the word. So how do you get good deductions? Obviously, if you're a student, did you know you can, on your tax return, you can claim that you're a full-time student, you're pursuing your degree, you're in what, depends on whether you're a junior, freshman, and whatnot. You can take that up to 4 years. Usually it's a $2,500 tax credit. If you can get that on your tax return. So if you owe, for example, you owe the government about $1,000 for the year, if you calculated your taxes. Now if you did that student Pell Grant, you took advantage of that, and also the credit. So this way now you get, hey, if you're at the end of the year, you're $1,500 ahead. Take advantage of stuff like that, get your deductions, figure that stuff out. How about the rainy day? Over 72 million Americans, that's 3/4 of the population, has no kind of cushion to fall back on. So there is no rainy day fund. I know it's going back to the theory of living paycheck to paycheck. So you can avoid this by starting a rainy day fund or emergency fund. What do you think is a good amount to do it? You think that you have to have a lot of money to set aside in order to have a rainy day fund?
No.
No, right? So here I got an example here. If it's only going to take you $25 a week. Is that too much?
No.
No, right? So if you look at the math, if you do that, $25 a week, if you put into it throughout the entire year, that's $1,200. So $1,200, I'm sure I can do a lot with $1,200. I'm sure you guys can too. So plan for it. That obviously helps out. So if you own a home, you live in a home, this will help you. Hey, the washing machine broke, the AC broke. Those are not cheap to get fixed. So rainy day fund, that will help you out. All right, so I know Shay, you said you need help.
Yes.
Hey, I am not a professional. I work, as I said, for State Farm. So I'm not in the banking side. I work claims for auto claims on there. So I found you some resources. Obviously, you're here at UNT. You don't have to, I'm not telling you to go anywhere for it. I'm not telling you to go leave the state and get your help. I'm not telling you to call somebody, get your help. UNT has a money management office here at Chestnut Hall, suite number 313. If you check out their website, it's attached to the link as well. So check out their website. They're going to have great seminars that they have usually every week. They'll throw you emails every week if you sign up on their mailing list. They'll tell you when you can stop by. They have seminars. They'll show you how to get this thing together. UNT also has legal services. So if you're thinking about different things, like especially a will, that's a great thing that they can help you out with. if you already have your assets, you've spent so much of your time spent investing into that portfolio that you built, you're gonna need some help. So they can kind of help you out, make sure that you have that set aside to go to the next person that you would feel deserves that money. Local libraries. So local libraries can also assist you. They also have a lot of seminars and also great ways to assist you with money management and offer you some help. How about the bank? Have anybody walked into a bank? Obviously not when you go into the teller, but there are specialists at our local banks that can help you with a lot of this stuff. And an employer. Obviously, whoever works and has resources, check out your company's website. That's usually the go-to resource. They'll show you how to invest. So 401k, they'll kind of go deep into it and show you what they all have to offer. That's one of the biggest things. So this is an overview overall as far as how to save money, have a budget, and also get your financial life on track. So do you guys have questions? Sounds like a no. So appreciate your time here. Appreciate y'all stopping by. And hope you learned something today. And also for the viewers on there, post a comment on the bottom below. Let's hear your feedback as well. Thank you for watching.